There's one thing the Niners could do to get the Cabo click on board with another quarterback change.
Bring Steve Young back.
Hold on. If they don't want to give Mac Jones a shot, which to me is short-sighted and their fault, and another reason why I don't think that you should keep a consortium of vets on the team, a clique of vets, you could bring in Aaron Rodgers. The other part of this proposed trade from Craig Carton is that the Niners would sign Aaron Rodgers. It seems realistic in the sense that I think that's where Rodgers wants. I think he wants to come here. He went to Cal. He is so into himself and his story and his narcissistic adventure that he thinks he should have started his career on the Niners, and he got screwed over in that initial draft, and it'd be cool to sort of come full circle. And I think he's totally in to the idea of finishing his career on this team. And I think he's waiting around for the 49ers to sort of come to that conclusion that they'd be better off with him. I think the vets would go for it. I think it'd be freaking suicide for this team. But what do you think?
Isn't Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh today?
Is he?
I'm pretty sure he's in Pittsburgh today. But let's say he's not. I don't think Kyle and Aaron Rodgers would get along. I think
there's no choice. There's no chance.
This is the biggest issue with this is the biggest issue with the 49ers. And this was my issue with Andy Reid when he was in Philly. Andy Reid could at least find Hall of Fame quarterback talent, but they're very stubborn. Andy Reid wasn't not stubborn until he got to Patrick Mahomes. Kyle is very stubborn. Aaron Rodgers is very stubborn. And I think Kyle, say Aaron Rodgers throws a pick, mobility-wise, Kyle isn't afraid to let his ego get the best and be like, dude, you're 40 years old. You're not your MVP level. What are you doing? Stop moving around. And that's my biggest issue is I just think Kyle's a problem, man. I think they should have split this offseason. I think they really should have split this offseason. I think they should have sometimes, man, you just need a fresh start, and it helps more than it hurts. I think Kyle's a huge issue when it comes to quarterback. I think he's too short-sighted and too stubborn when it comes to quarterback. I don't know. That's my biggest issue with Aaron Rodgers is I don't think him and Kyle would work well together. That's why he likes Nathaniel Hackett. He can do whatever he wants.
There's more issues with Aaron Rodgers in this team, though. It's like he can't move, 50. And he's 41, and this offensive line isn't good enough. So you could give him, and plus he wouldn't be cheap. He might be cheaper than Brock. If Brock is asking for $58 million a year, maybe you could get Rodgers for 40 or whatever offer you're currently offering Brock. But then you don't have an offensive line. He's going to get hurt. You don't have him anymore. And even if he stays healthy, won't be there in OTAs, won't be there. He'll be in Mexico. He'll be thinking about things. He'll be pondering politics and life. And he's toxic. And Kyle Shanahan doesn't have the freaking backbone to stand up to him. And I wonder what Robert Saleh thinks of him.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that, too. Yeah, I mean, I've never thought Aaron Rodgers was the answer. I genuinely, and this is going to sound crazy, I would prefer them to just start Mac Jones.
Me too. Because look at the Vikings. They're making the same calculation. Like, is Aaron Rodgers better than J.J. McCarthy? I mean, I guess we don't really know what J.J. McCarthy is, but is it really worth it to them to break up their team for him?
Yeah.
No.
Like, look what he just did in the Jets. And albeit it's the Jets, but we already have enough drama in San Francisco, man. We have way more than enough drama.
It's true.
Like, at this point, you'd just be, in my opinion, if Kyle and John did this, they would be mortgaging their jobs for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Also, it's like you're bringing in Aaron Rodgers for like a 1-year deal. I mean, you can't count on him in 2026. You got to go year to year if you bring him in, and you have $85 million in cap space. Like, you're not winning the Super Bowl this year. You might make the playoffs. You're not winning the Super Bowl when you have almost $100 million in cap space. It's not going to happen. You're not going to be better than the Eagles this year. So what is the point? I mean, you know what I mean?
In my opinion, I know a lot of people have that sentiment that the Niners are no longer a threat. I disagree. I think the Niners should still be a threat this year.
They can be a threat, but they're not a Super Bowl contender, in my opinion. They could be a threat to knock a team off.
On paper, yes. But 2019, they weren't on paper a Super Bowl contender. They just had a really good coaching staff.
But they
They had
didn't have
Robert.
$85 million in dead cap either.
Sure, they just had, they had a
That's a
bunch of.
handicap. That's
It
a big
is for
handicap.
sure. But
Yeah.
if Kyle is as good as he says he is,
Mhm.
if he's as good as he tells us he is,
Mhm.
if Brock is as good as he tells us he is, if BA is as good as he tells us he is, if Sala is as good as he tells us he
That's
is,
true.
why
I
are
see
we
the point
not?
you're making, but let me ask you this. Is it possible that the Niners have enough job security that they could straight up tank this year and get Arch Manning?
You'd have to have the Yorks on board. I don't think they have enough job security to do that on their own
Hey,
and be
man,
in the back of their
look,
head.
we don't really believe in Brock. This dude wants way too much money. We already have $85 million in dead cap space. Just let us tank this one more year. We will get the quarterback next year. We will never have another losing season, but just
But
give us some patience.
here's
I
my
would say,
thing.
hell no, win this year.
I agree, and I don't think any of the players would stay. I don't think George would stay. I don't think Kyle's best friend
True.
Juszczyk would stay. I don't think
True.
Fred would stay if they
What would
were willing
Juszczyk
to.
want? That's what I always am thinking. Like, what would make him upset? What would make him happy? And I want to
Nothing.
make him happy.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he went to Pittsburgh. I mean, Kyle was probably on the next plane out to Pittsburgh to get him back.
Baby, come back.
He had a speaker in his hand outside the
Give me that.
offices. Yeah, he was like, "Don't
Think about the
go."
good times.
Yeah, think about when we lost a couple Super Bowls because of
Dude,
bad quarterback
those were
play.
special times.
Think about when you fumbled the ball on your only carry and lost us the game. Like, we
Yeah.
couldn't do that without you anymore.
Yeah. Think
Like,
about the 14 times a season I get you the ball, man. Come on.
think
21.
about going out for drinks with me and George after a game and us telling you good job on those motions.
Yeah. Think
God,
about how upset George Kittle's wife would be if you weren't on this team.
dude,
Be upset.
all the jackets your wife would have to get rid of. Like, come on, man.
I mean, because it's about a team, but it's really about the bromance between George, Juszczyk, and McCaffrey. That's all I care about. The
Yeah.
rest of the 50 players mean nothing to me. This trio, that's all I care about.
I think they're going to retire together. I think
They should start a podcast and a reality
I
show.
could totally. Kittle and Juice are totally going to be copy Gronk and Edelman.
Oh yeah, and then get McCaffrey in there for a little extra, because he's so interesting and says so much.
It's going to
I
be
think
as
it'd be great.
interesting as Debo's podcast. So,
Yeah. Shady Luke says if he does get 60 million, I have a bad feeling your management won't spread it out wisely.
if he gets 60 million a season, I mean, one, he's not, but two, the franchise is cooked.
Cooked. Alan Lopez says we finally putting respect on Mac's name, put talent around him, and watch bro cook.
I wouldn't say I'm respecting Mac. I would say I'm disrespecting Brock. But yeah.
Showtime 2118 says there's zero chance Brock plays on his rookie deal. He will sit out the season.
Yeah.
So bad for the locker room. Enjoy that,
Okay.
man. Enjoy.
Yeah. That's never
Good
going to
luck.
happen.
Shady Luke says, I don't think Brock has that type of value, in my opinion, though. Dude
Agreed.
can't beat good AFC teams and crumbled in the fourth quarters this past year.
I completely
Can we
agree.
get Brock Purdy's numbers in the fourth quarter from this past year? I think that's worth looking
I
up.
completely agree. Brock
Blitz,
doesn't have any value.
2024.
That's why I'm saying that if I was Brock's agent, I'd say, bro, if they're offering you 40 a year, even just for 3 years, take it. That's the most you're ever going to get.
Dude, his quarterback rating in the fourth quarter this year was 83.9. Dude, this was Brock Purdy by quarter in 2024. First quarter, 106. Second quarter, 102. Third quarter, 88. Fourth quarter, 83. So this is all with you can blame it on the supporting cast, but with the same supporting cast, he was dicing people up in the first quarter. It just seemed like he got progressively worse as games went on. And I don't see how you can blame other people about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not blaming anyone. I'm not going to say sit here and say oh, well, because of Kyle. But we do have a fourth quarter problem with Kyle. Like, holy God, we have a fourth quarter problem with Kyle. I just think he starts becoming predictable in the fourth quarter. Like, I think everyone knows at this point, all right, Niners have a lead. They're just going to run the ball pretty much all 3 downs, or they're going to throw some screen or some motion play to McCaffrey. That's it. They're not going to actually try and put their foot on the gas, because that was Brock Purdy's big thing is, oh, I'm going to be Tom Brady this year. We're going to put our foot on their throats this year and just, hit the gas. And that literally was the opposite of what happened.
The unfaithful perspective says I keep having this premonition that Purdy will be a Steeler or a Giant next season.
I hope so. I hope you're right. I don't see it, but I hope so.
I just don't see, if the Steelers were to trade for Brock, they're a smart organization, if a little Stone Age, and I don't see them giving Brock all this money. There's no
Dude, the
way.
Steelers hate paying people more than the Bengals.
Yeah,
They're
they
asking
just would.
TJ Watt to take discounts. They're not
They
paying
might
Brock.
trade a 3rd-round pick for Brock Purdy and like make him play out his deal and let him go, but they won't. The Giants would do something stupid.
Yes.
The Giants are an awful organization.
Bro, the Steelers are so bad that they wouldn't give BA $30 million last year and then started calling on him this year for $30 million. They're just as bad as the Niners at contract negotiations. They're not giving Purdy.
But the Giants are so poverty. They're so bad. I could see them wanting to have like the next, All-American franchise quarterback,
Giants,
yada, yada, yada.
Sure. I could see him going to the Giants. I don't think this class is good enough for the Giants to not ask.
Yeah, well, that would be just such a blessing for the 49ers. All day, every day, Kim says Niners are no different from the Cowboys, Browns, Jags. Well,
okay,
this is their opportunity to show that they are. If once they pay Brock Purdy whatever whatever he wants, then they really are the Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but
the Dolphins this year.
I don't. I mean, tell me when any of those teams have made a Super Bowl in the last 20 years. Like, come on, they're not the same as them, but they're the same.
No, but I think when you give that, like when you make Brock Purdy the highest paid player in franchise history by far, you just put yourself in Dallas territory.
They're the 90s Bills, in my opinion. They're paying to keep their team the same that keeps losing.
Yes, now they are that. Yeah. But again, if and when they pay Brock Purdy $58 million a year, you're officially in the tier of teams that have awful contracts at quarterback.
Think they will? I don't see them doing it.
I don't. And that's why I'm encouraged with the Niners this year.
Yeah.
You got Brock Purdy, who's like looking at you guys, what you did with Ayuk the last year and Trent and McCaffrey. He's thinking, I'm going to take advantage of you too. And so far you haven't let him.
Yeah, he's begging. I don't think they're going to do it.
Fluke says, love your content, Grant. Thanks for daily uploads. I appreciate you, man. It's the name of the game. Shady Luke says, had a Niner fan tell me the other day, you guys are like us now without Slay. I said, bro, we got Cooper and Quinion Mitchell.
The Eagles are a lot better than the Niners.
They're so good. Showtime 2118 says BT Dub Kyle is a QB guru. Brock, Jimmy, Darnold, Matt Ryan, everyone gets better except a guy who isn't even an NFL quarterback. He's 100% developed Brock.
That's not true. That's not a QB guru.
That's fine then. Then why do you pay? Then why would you ever pay for a quarterback if Kyle is that valuable? Give the money to Kyle.
He's not even a guru, man. If you have the same type of quarterback doing the same type of things with the same type of results, that's not a guru. Like
yeah, let him win a Super Bowl all day, every day. Kim says, "Tell me the difference. 60 million makes them no different."
Huh?
Yeah, I don't. Hold on. She said earlier, Niners are not different from the Cowboys. Yeah, but they haven't paid him yet.
Paid him. Yeah.
They haven't paid him yet. To their credit, I do want to give them some credit here.